We begin today the 15th letter. This is a unique letter. I mean, all the letters are unique, truly, to be quite honest. But this is unique in that we will get a glimpse into ourselves to know thyself. And through knowing ourselves, we'll get a glimpse into the divine. So, to understand, says the Alter Rebbe, the allegory and metaphor of the words of the wise and their riddles with respect to spheros. Spheros means the 10 divine attributes of God Almighty that we will come to somewhat comprehend. And how will we comprehend? As the verse says in Job and Iyov, Mipsari echsa elaka, from my own flesh I will behold and perceive God. In others, we'll get a partial understanding of divinity because we will understand ourselves. We will then be able to. So just how are we going to do that? How can we accomplish such a thing? It is just as God permeates the world, so does the soul permeate the body. So when we will understand how the soul permeates the body and gives life, then we'll understand how God permeates the world and gives life to the world. Pretty good. So we're going to get two things here: to know ourselves, and through knowing ourselves, to know the divine. Not only the divine, but the interaction of godliness in creation. Now the truth is, because we're going to know ourselves, how's that possible that means we're going to know the divine? So the answer is very simple, as the Zohar says, because we have a piece of the divine in us. And that's what it says by Adam, and God he blew into the nostrils a soul of life. Blowing is a metaphor for God taking something deep within inside of him, a piece of him, and putting that into us, into our soul. Unlike speech, which God creates the world through speech, speech is external, meaning metaphorically external in the sense that the power of speech, the breath that takes to speak, is minimal. And then again, metaphorically, being that it's minimal, it's external, meaning that it's an means to an end. However, when you blow, right, like when you blow balloons for your child's birthday, you run out of breath quickly. Why? Because it's coming from a deeper place. So that's the metaphor. It's coming from a deeper place, and therefore that deeper place of God is the divine attributes that he blows into us. And because of that, we have access to know God by knowing ourselves. Now, even if you're a low-grade soul, what does a low-grade soul mean? It means a nefesh, which of the 5 levels of the soul, the highest, yichida, chaya, neshama, ruach, nefesh is the lowest. I'm not going to go into explanation of those 5 levels now, but just let us assume that a soul is of the lowest grade, nefesh, that comes from the lowest world, asiya, right? Yet that soul is a derivative of what we call the yichud of Zah or Malchus, is a derivative of or is the offspring of a union between the male part of the divine, which is the six what we call masculine emotions, and then Malchus, which is feminine. So there is a union between the male and female divine parts that brings this soul into being. This low-level soul, right? It comes through this union. The union truly begins with a union in intelligence, divine intelligence between Chachma and Bina, right? And it comes by way of the vessels of Atzilus, some mystical geography over here, and it's implanted in the very soul of the individual. Even if that soul is low level, when we speak low level, meaning not so sensitive to this union where it comes from, kind of gets lost in the translation and the jargon, and therefore not sensitive to its source in the divine. But that doesn't take away from the fact that that soul that was blown into us is divine. Yes, it is. It radiates the soul, the Ein Sof, the limitlessness of God. In a concealed manner, though, and it animates and gives us life. From that fact that we have this soul, therefore an individual is capable, enabled, empowered to understand something of the supernal divine spheres attributes. Because why? It radiates in our soul. That's what comprises of our soul. And therefore we have the capacity, therefore, to know God, to know godliness. And that's what it means in Psori, Echza Elaka, from my own flesh I will perceive godliness, God. Because in my own flesh, the soul interacts with my body, understanding that, even if I'm because that soul that as it interacts within me and then I understand it is a part of God, even if I'm not sensitive to it, I'm on the lower rung of the divine order of my soul coming from, but yet it is in there, that breath of God, part of God, the Ein Sof, the limitlessness of God in my soul, that gives me the capability, the empowerment, that I can understand something of the divine order of things. Powerful.